fight of the evening. Your first warrior, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 77.1 inches tall. He weighed in at 177 kilograms. He's 25 years old from Dagestan, Russia. He's got a record of 6 wins, 1 loss. Give it up for Eldar, the Beast, Eldarov! And please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 76.5 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 177 kilograms. He's 25 years old, fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, by way of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Give it up with a record of 6 wins, 2 losses, Kevin Koldovsky. Your referee is Mihailovich.
You know, I'm waiting on one of these fighters to like take a swing at Carlos Kramer. He's getting in their face. It's intense.
Eldar just doesn't back down. Have you seen Carlos Kramer? He is huge.
He's a monster. One of the biggest ring announcers that I've ever seen in pure mass. He's a monster. And here we go. It is Koldovsky in the black and Eldarov in the white.
If Koldovsky wants to make this a standing battle, he's going to have to use his reach, throw his 1-2s, but keep his jab going. Keep Eldar on the outside. Eldar definitely wants to come in, but he's going to have to move side to side. If not, change the pace, go high-low, and then shoot a beautiful blast double, which he usually does.
Hey, these guys are big welters, big, powerful welterweights that pack a lot of power. There's a good chance we are not going to decision with these two.
Kevin taunting Eldar.
Oh, and here we go. Eldar Eldarov.
A big hook
coming
by
for
Eldar.
the head.
A big hook by Eldar, but Kevin was able to catch him in 1.
Wow, great takedown defense, but he's going down. Eldar Eldarov, as you said, so explosive, and he would not be denied.
Nothing but power, and I know that from experience, sadly.
I'd say he's probably picked you up once or twice.
And I'm a flyweight, man, so he had his way. That wasn't fun.
Thanks for tuning in here on BraveFights.com and following us on social media at Brave MMAF on Instagram, Twitter, and of course on our Facebook page. The fans chanting Eldar's name. Quite the fan favorite here in Bahrain.
Now Eldar's stuck in half guard, but Koldovsky's trying to work. He's trying to work off his back. He was trying to put his feet in the fence so he can get a different position, but right now, he's just feeling it out. He's just trying to control Eldar's arms, and if Eldar makes a mistake, you know, he may be able to transition either to a submission, or if not, go back into full guard.
Eldarov
so far,
smothering Koldovsky, but remember, Koldovsky does have some good BJJ here as he tries to sneak that right leg up towards the neck of Eldar, but Eldar with that half guard is just really tough to deal with.
And Eldar's doing a good job. Again, smothering, keeping the pressure on, turning his opponent's head and keeping it off center.
The crowd very, very focused here, watching the ground game. And you talk about KHK and what they've done to bring jiu-jitsu and to bring MMA to the region. They really appreciate the sport.
And Eldar moves into a mount. Full mount by Eldar Eldarov.
And one thing you got to remember, the only loss on his record is to Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's a guy that's going to be fighting most likely.
And Kevin's going for a heel hook.
For the championship of the world.
Oh.
Kevin Koldovsky here trying to isolate the arm. So only losing to Khabib is a pretty big deal.
Khabib, one of the best lightweights in the world. Again, I've had the experience. I don't know if it's a good thing
with
or a bad thing to go with both of them. And man, I don't know who's tougher. They're just ridiculously good at their sambo style.
Kevin Koldovsky having a hard time dealing with the top game of Eldar Eldarov. This is kind of what we expected coming into this fight, that it would go to the ground. Who's going to have the advantage? And right now it's that wide frame of Eldarov.
Transitioning to an armbar.
And he's doing trying to walk
And Eldar's doing a really good job at keeping the pressure on Kevin's face. Turns his head, puts him off center, and makes it harder for him to go and transition to, for example, an armbar.
And now Kevin Koldovsky trying to isolate that arm.
Eldar is doing a good job. He kept his head down, wasn't able to let that leg to go over, and Kevin let go.
Really sneaky movement there for Kevin Koldovsky. Unable to get out from underneath Eldar, but it appears that he is trying to work that submission game from the bottom, now getting the elbows in. But time's ticking away, and Eldar Eldarov is
transitioning for the armbar again. Eldar's keeping his head down, which is good for him. Doesn't lock in the armbar, but Kevin Koldovsky's looking at showing his flexibility and might get it under.
Talk about the flexibility of Koldovsky and the durability, and quickly Eldar taking control again. Very heavy on top. Michal Mihailovic watching closely.
And Eldar's doing a really good job in smart ground and pound, not overextending himself, giving Kevin a chance to either run an armbar, triangle, whatever submission he likes.
Comes over the top, this Eldarov, and there we go. That is the end of round number 1, an impressive showing by Eldar. So, wow, round number 1, you see Koldovsky showing some life, though, with the submission attempts. Just really tough to deal with a guy like Eldarov with that wide body, not much of a neck to deal with. Really hard to lock something in.
And again, Eldar strives on the ground. He loves to grab you, take you down, and land in a good position. This one, he landed in half guard, but overall was able to transition well. Again, play good ground and pound, smart ground and pound. He didn't overextend himself. He didn't outgas himself. And so far, he won that round pretty easily.
A dominating showing by Eldar Eldarov. The party just picking up here at Khalifa Sports City here in Bahrain. Brave Fights, Brave Combat Federation, kicking off their inaugural event. The vision, the dream of Sheikh Khalid, and he has really put something special together here for the fans of Bahrain. And who knows where we'll go from here. I've seen a press conference very, very recently with Mohammed Shahid, and we could be going to Europe. You just never do know.
Yeah, where was that press conference again? Was it Ireland?
I believe it was Dublin, Ireland.
So you never know where Brave might end up next.
Round number 2 kicking off here in this welterweight matchup. Are we going to go right back to the ground? And Koldovsky doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Oh, he walked into a big right hand. Now Eldarov coming over the top again. Big, nasty competitor here.
Kevin showing Eldar, hey, you're not going to take me down as easy this round. He's trying to show the knees. He's trying to show the push kicks. So it intimidates Eldar, and Eldar has to, pretty much go for something else. And just showing that fake can change a person's game plan. But overall, it looks like they want to stand and bang.
Going to work. Are we going to see another one of those flying knees there by Koldovsky?
Well, it's
Will he
good
take
success.
another chance?
It's good success because Eldar keeps on dropping his head every time he throws a big right hook. Oh, and he lands that one, and it dazed him. So immediately he was stunned. Right now, he's not attacking.
Oh, there's another big knee to the body. Now a big clinch, and Eldarov takes a few shots. Koldovsky starting to get a little bit of a rhythm here, starting to get a little momentum.
Eldar worked really, really hard in keeping Kevin down, and now he gets him down again.
Right into the takedown. And now are we going to see much more of the same, that smothering style of Eldar Eldarov?
What Eldar needs to do is get Kevin to the fence so he can't extend himself, and it's harder for him to transition to submissions. So far, Eldar's doing really smart ground and pound. Again, not overextending himself and putting pressure on that head that takes Kevin Koldovsky's body off center.
Eldarov so very effective there, just burying the head into the body, not giving any sort of room. And there you can see the legs starting to sneak up the back as Kevin Koldovsky once again tries to look for a submission from the bottom.
Kevin's going to try to transition to that armbar again. He's using the fence. But so far, again, Eldar's playing it smart, keeping his head pressed against the fence, and keeping Kevin just crumbled together.
You know, the fans are getting a little bit restless here, but this is the style of Eldarov. This is how he grinds. This is how he gets his victories, is he puts a lot of pressure on you, and he's very, very heavy on top. And Koldovsky is seeing that firsthand.
And it's a tiring style for both. One, you know, Eldar has to do all the work. He has to put the pressure on. And Kevin obviously is under there taking the ground and pound, taking that pressure. But when they both stand up, you can tell they looked a little fatigued the first time. But Eldar's playing a dangerous game here, staying in Kevin Koldovsky's guard. Doesn't look like he's trying to transition yet. But again, we'll see what happens.
Oh, now really.
Kevin's going for omoplata right now.
Oh, tough spot. He's got that thing wrenched in. Eldarov with that very, very short neck. It's hard to get a guy like that doesn't have a whole lot of neck to work with in the omoplata, and he's not able to finish.
Good defense by Eldar. He saw it coming. You know, sadly got stuck in it for a short period of time, but saw it there, and overall was able to get out. But Kevin's showing how slick he is on the bottom. You know, so far he's tried an armbar, a heel hook, and an omoplata. I'm just excited to see what's next.
No, it's very, very interesting, of course. And there he goes once again. Real solid. Walking his way up the cage. Very, very slick submission attempts here by Koldovsky. How long can he survive, though, being underneath a guy like Eldarov? That has to be frustrating for Eldar.
Beautiful left elbow.
And another grinding round by Eldar Eldarov. Now going to be up 2 rounds clearly. That means behind the 8-ball is going to be Koldovsky. He is going to have to go for it. Close call there on the omoplata attempt, just not able to cinch it in. And like I said, such a strong, powerful guy is Eldarov. Not to mention, he doesn't have much of a neck to work with, which kind of neutralizes that attempt.
Eldar is so strong, and that's what he's using right now. He's using body weight, he's using his pressure, and in that last submission, he was kind of using a little muscle to get out of it. But so far, Kevin's playing a nice game when it comes to that takedown defense. He's showing Eldar, if you want to take me down, you're going to have to shoot. And that's why Kevin's throwing those flying knees.
We'll see if we see more of it here as we start our 3rd and final round. If Koldovsky is going to throw caution to the wind, I believe he's going to. Coming from a camp like that, they know how to strategize, and I think he's going to go after it. And here we go. Crowd excited about this one. Can Eldarov dominate once again, get it to the ground? Are we going to see Koldovsky have a successful round number 3? This one has been a war of attrition. Both fighters in the same spot. You see him winding up that big right hand.
Kevin knows that he's losing 2-0. He's going to have to be forward, but just like the last round, when he's forward, Eldar just waits patiently, will pick you up and take you down. So Kevin needs to throw his jab.
Oh, big left.
Kevin needs to make this a stand-up fight, throw his jab, use his length, and set up combinations.
Big spinning attempt there.
And he's trying to change it up.
Oh, and he walked right into another big shot. Here we go. We're getting an exchange.
So far, Eldar got the better of that exchange.
sounded
Another
like
flying knee.
some sort of a screeching animal in the crowd there. And moving forward once again is Koldovsky. Very, very aggressive here in round number 3, as he should be. It's always frustrating when a guy's down 2 rounds when he doesn't attack, and Koldovsky is definitely moving forward.
Yo, Kevin's ready. He's showing those flying knees. He's showing his knees, and he doesn't want Eldar to shoot, or else he's gonna run into that knee. Eldar keeps dropping his head, and Kevin sees it.
And it looks like we have an unintentional low blow. He's gonna try to walk that one off and get a bit of a rest. It doesn't take much, a glancing blow, and then kind of turn you over there.
It's not the funnest thing in the world.
I can imagine not. What a night we've had already, some amazing finishes, and it's only going to get better as we go, as we have our massive co-main and our main event and our feature fight with the boogeyman, Richie Martinez.
That one I'm definitely excited for. The fans showing love to Eldar.
Big time love for Eldar Eldarov. And there it goes. That's what he does.
I just want to say Eldar does that very well, and I say that from experience. He shows you that he's going to go for the dump. You move that way, and a person can only fight in one direction. So instead of going that way, he'll take you the other way and lift you straight up. And you have no choice because you have that momentum going that way. Your body automatically lifts off the ground.
Great strategy, great game plan here by Eldar Eldarov. He knows what he can do and what he does best, and he is employing that for the 3rd round in a row.
It just shows his Dagestani roots of, hard sambo and hard wrestling. Now in Dagestan, they're known for their Olympic wrestlers, all in one practice room, and Eldar is one of them. So Eldar is a fantastic wrestler. He showed his train wrestling there, and he's doing some nice ground and pound here.
Really going to work here. Eldar trying to get a finish here, trying to throw the ground and pound. But, I mean, just a real savvy veteran move here by Koldovsky. It's not going to be easy to put away. Once again, and that was actually a pretty solid shot there to the groin. Eldarov, that was right on the money, Shorty, and I believe it was unintentional. That being said, I mean, that was, I'd love to see the replay on that. I don't know if we can get that up in the truck, but that was right on it. Koldovsky may have to use every bit of that 5 minutes, and we talked about this today earlier that we've seen fights end this way. I mean, if you just can't continue, and it looks like he is in some immense pain. He's going to try to walk that off. I mean, this is just part of the game, Shorty, and like you said, you've been down that road before, and it's not anything fun, but it looks like Kevin Koldovsky is going to continue fighting, so let's get back to the fight. Koldovsky, and here we go, Eldar Eldarov facing off once again. And the fight carries on here in the 3rd and final round. Koldovsky is throwing caution to the wind, everything but the kitchen sink. He wants to get a stoppage. A desperate fighter willing to try anything at this point to slow down.
Beautiful knee.
And there we go, that power double.
There it goes. Oh. Nice defense by Kevin Koldovsky again.
Beautiful
3rd
defense.
round, they're clinching. There's a lot of sweat. They get very slippery here. Kevin's doing a beautiful job with those elbows. Eldar, you can tell, is in a little pain, and that's why he decided to block it.
And he will not be denied. Eldar Eldarov, anytime he's gone for the takedown, he has got that takedown.
Yeah. Eldar, he likes to say to me, do you want to go on Dagestani Airlines? I'm like, no, I don't want to go on Dagestani Airlines. Because he definitely gives you some air miles.
No, that's one airline I want no part of. I want no miles on that airline. And Eldar Eldarov seems to have cruised his way to a punishing victory over Kevin Koldovsky, a strategic win. And there we go, much to the happiness of the Bahraini fans who've embraced him as a part of KHK MMA. It appears that Eldarov has another win.
I just want to say I'm a platinum member in the Dagestani Airlines because of Eldar and Khabib.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the results, let's give it up for these two warriors. What a show they put on. We go to the judges' scorecard, and we have a unanimous decision. Fighting out of the blue corner, Eldar the Beast Eldarov. Five-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing our first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 12 wins and only 4 losses. He stands 1.70 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 68.75 kilograms. Representing Rasputin Fighting and fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Give it up for the Brazilian sensation, Enrique Rasputin!
Дамы и господа, в синем углу из Бразилии его профессиональный рекорд 12 побед, 4 поражения, ему 31 год, его вес 68 килограмм 750 грамм. Встречайте, Enrique Rasputin!
And please welcome his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, this man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 9 wins and only 1 loss. He stands 1.77 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 70.71 kilograms. Representing KHK MMA in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Put your hands together for the man fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, Eldar Eldarov.
И в красном углу боец, ему 25 лет, его профессиональный рекорд 9 побед, 1 поражение, его вес 70 килограмм 710 грамм. Из Республики Дагестан, Российская Федерация, представляющий клуб королевства Бахрейн KHK, Eldar Eldarov!
Your referee is Scott Manhart.
Tension is in the air. Nate Quarry, the main event. You heard the crowd getting behind Eldar Eldarov, also loving the spirit of Enrique Rasputin. In the white is Rasputin, in the black and purple is Eldarov.
Boy, it does look like there's a size difference there. Got to give it to Eldarov. He's definitely bigger.
Absolutely, just a bigger build. Looks like he may have a bit of a reach advantage as well.
And Eldarov throws very heavy hands, but Rasputin, his takedowns generally come shooting underneath those big shots.
Well, I'll tell you, Eldarov, he can get a good takedown as well. I mean, it's kind of his bread and butter, is that once he gets a hold of you, you don't often get up.
It was big right hand by Eldarov there.
Last time we saw Eldar Eldarov, it was against Kevin Koldovsky, and he had a great debut there, took him all 3 rounds, and Eldarov is a killer. He can grind you out and he's going to look for a finish here. He wants to do it in a big way and make a big impression here in the main event, his first ever main event for Brave Combat Federation.
Eldarov is thinking about that high crotch so he can get the lift and the dump. One of the favorites of Eldarov, coming off of the cage with his takedowns.
What a night it's been here for Brave 6 Kazakhstan, Nate. I mean, really so many finishes and so much spirit between these fighters. This has really been a night to remember.
It really has been, and with this as a main event, how exciting. What a great matchup for our final fight.
You know, and I had doubts bringing you in here, but you know.
I'm just a fan, buddy. I would have said anything to get here to be cage-side for these fights. You kidding me? I'm a Brave 6 in Kazakhstan.
We might have to keep you. We might have to keep you, Nate. Here we go.
Rasputin's so calm. He's actually conversing with his corner during the fight and setting up the body lock. Almost had it there.
Trying to drop down, but Rasputin doing a great job of thwarting the takedown right now, but tenacious as Eldarov. That's what he does.
Oos.
And he's holding on for dear life is Rasputin. Now trying to neutralize the big Dagestani beast.
Now Rasputin's doing a good job with the overhook on his right side, keeping Eldarov from being able to sit up and land some strikes. He needs to do the same thing on the left side. That's if he's going to stay on the ground. Getting pushed up against the cage now. Is Rasputin going to use this to cage walk and get back up, potentially reverse it? And the cage is really the detriment to the BJJ fighter. To be really successful in BJJ, you have to have free hips. You need to be able to move and swing around. And if you get stacked against the cage, that can take that away.
Eldar Eldarov, one of the top coaches at KHK MMA, based right there in Bahrain, the Kingdom of Bahrain, which is really the basis of Brave Combat Federation. Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa and Mohammed Shahid, the founding members of KHK MMA, and Eldar Eldarov has been a big part of that equation. And there he goes with the big elbow, a nice left elbow on the face of Enrique Rasputin.
And going back to that over and over again with that left elbow. Rasputin looking to climb up high, but he's just stacked in too deeply, is Eldar.
Eldar really pushing him up against the cage. And
Rasputin's toes may be caught in the cage. Now they come loose. And Eldar looking to continually put Rasputin in the corner.
This is a bad spot for Rasputin. He has taken some nasty elbows right now, Nate. You can only take so many of those.
Ooh,
and that's going to be it. Eldarov does it. Oh, my goodness. Eldar Eldarov with a highlight reel elbow finish. He is vicious, he's nasty, and he is on top of the division.
Great finish with those elbows and the punches. Split Rasputin open. Looks like Rasputin might have thought for a second that the stoppage was a little early, but no, if he would have seen what we saw, that was a good stoppage.
Just bigger and stronger, Nate. I mean, that's what it came down to. He didn't have much for him once it went to the ground. That wide shoulder base, man, Eldar Eldarov is going to be a tough deal to deal with, and we're going to go right to a break right now, and we'll be back with our official decision from our main event at Brave 6. We're back here in Kazakhstan, a big win for Eldar Eldarov. We're going to go to Carlos Kramer for the official decision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for both of these warriors in the main event of the evening. We have your winner by knockout at 3 minutes and 42 seconds of the very first round. Your winner from Dagestan, Russia, Eldar Eldarov. Your judges for this bout are Diego Duet, Clemens Werner, and Victor Wolf. Your referee is Gert Richard. Let's meet your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 7 wins and no losses. He's 187 centimeters tall and weighs already 74.8 kilograms. Representing Team Nodera, New and his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 11 wins and 1 loss. He stands 176 centimeters tall and weighs a reigning 74.7 kilograms. Representing KHK MMA and fighting out of the magnificent Kingdom of Bahrain. Give it up for Eldar Eldarov. The referee instructions, get reset.
Gentlemen, you know the rules. Protect yourselves at all times and listen to my commands. When I say stop, you stop. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. Touch gloves, step back uniform.
Big thanks to our mobile telecommunications sponsor, Zain, that's ZAIN.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, you are currently watching history in the making. The first ever super lightweight title. It's for a world title of Brave Combat Federation. Munir Laziz taking on Eldar Eldarov. Simply put, Phil, is this striker versus grappler? It's a throwback style fight.
I think it is. We've seen Munir Laziz last year in September at Brave 16. He was part of what I believe was the best fight in the history of Brave Combat Federation against Dmitry Homyakovs. But in Eldar Eldarov, you have a man with a devastating wrestling style. And because of that wrestling, that gives rise to his striking because he sits down on his punches.
I do agree that I think Munir's debut with the promotion was probably one of the best fights in the promotion's history. He showed incredible fighters hard to get through a very difficult fight and come out on the right side of it, the second round TKO. Eldarov, again, an absolute killer, the head coach at KHK MMA. He's also the head coach of the IMAF team. He's decorated. The only loss on his record, you might have heard of this guy, Habib Nurmagomedov, was the only loss on his career. And of course now trains with Habib.
Habib Nurmagomedov is a dear friend of Brave Combat Federation.
Eldarov almost just having a look to see what Laziz offers. He's showing some faith, punting out the fake jab just to see the reaction of the young Tunisian. Big right hand.
Oh, catches him with the overhand. Laziz eats it, gives a wry smile back. I like the movement of Laziz. He's never staying static. He's always popping a jab and moving. He doesn't want to stand square and leave himself susceptible to that takedown game of Eldar Eldarov.
And is this similar to a fight earlier on we've seen where Eldarov is happy to stand here and almost bait when you're Laziz into that he thinks he's going to be in a stand-up striking contest, and then change levels right hand again though, just as I say that by Eldarov, but is he trying to bait him into it to get the takedown, Kirk?
He is indeed, but what he's got to look out for is not the hands, but the kicks. I think between the head movement, distance management, and the size of that man's neck, he can handle the hands. The kicks could be another matter.
Munir Laziz, of course, does have 2 head kick knockouts on his record, so he's definitely capable of popping the head kick up there.
Both fighters seem to almost have a smile at each other at everything they're throwing. 2 of the best in the business, 2 of the best in the world. Creating history here tonight at Brave Combat Federation 23. Let us know your thoughts. Hashtag BraveCF23. An incredible night of fights. We still have that main event to come.
So far, Eldar Eldarov is keeping up his side of the bargain that he made at the press conference, saying, yes, I will stand with you. And just as I say that, commentators curse strikes and he shoots in for a devastating power single.
Takedown. At first it looked like Laziz was going to survive it, but look at this, picking up the legs, pulling him away from the cage. And Laziz, he's got to know this was coming, Kirik, so he's been training, I'm sure, for this. What does he need to do, and mentally, what does this do for him?
He's doing it. He just did it. Knee, elbow, foot, hand, up to standing. Now he's got to break the grip, or he's going to get sent on a short trip by Air Eldar. He's got to break the grip on those hands.
Eldarov on the back, and it's good balance so far, Phil. Laziz up against the cage, wide base, trying to keep his balance.
Good knee from Eldar Eldarov. What he's trying to do is take Laziz down on that side that he has the arm ripped around so that he can't post out and can't brace himself on that.
Gets the left hook in and is trying to slither his way onto the back of the Tunisian fighter.
Eldar Eldarov, not just a wrestler. Of his 11 professional wins, 8 have come by way of submission.
If the sniper can return to standing, it's huge in this fight, because in order for him to win, it's got to happen standing.
Just going past the final minute of the opening round here. Eldarov is just trying to soften up Aziz with some short shots and trying to work his way onto the back, perhaps.
Suffocating pressure from Eldar. Once he gets a hold of you, he leaves virtually no space. The only space he does leave is to allow himself to throw strikes.
Those knees to the hips are extremely intelligent. A couple more of those and the kicks simply won't be as sharp.
That's an investment for later rounds, Carrick.
You can see the intelligence in Eldarov. Everything he's doing, he's throwing shots and landing and working and not even making the referee think there's not a lot happening. Throwing the big left hands here as well, but each time he's always working, he's never stopping, he's always looking to progress, be it to land shots, knees, a tap on the back of appreciation by Munir Laziz to Eldar Eldarov. Gentlemen, history has been made. We've just had the first round in a title fight at 165.
And we got to watch it. Quick shout out to AD Sports.
Let's recap that first round. Eldar showing that he's proficient on the feet as well, slipping and ripping with big overhands. Munir trying to move as best he can, and then the shoot from Eldar Eldarov.
And again, it's something I said, and I posed the question to Kieran, Phil, but I said, is he trying to bait him into getting a takedown? And just as you were complimenting him standing, of course, he went for that takedown.
And he illustrated why he is considered such a phenom in the wrestling realm of mixed martial arts. With that takedown, he secured the takedown and then stuck to Munir Laziz like glue, landing the shots, scoring the points.
Well, Aziz, he got comfortable on the feet with him. I'm interested to see if Eldarov waits as long this time round. He's talking out to somebody in the crowd. It's Eldarov. And the referee, I noticed that on the way in as well. They were wiping Aziz down an awful lot. Both fighters standing in the center of the cage, staring each other down.
That was intense.
But yeah, the referee is just making sure to towel off Aziz. Underway in round 2. Can Aziz get forward momentum with the threat of the takedown? Goes with that kick.
That big head kick we were talking about. Eldar smiles back at him.
Eldarov buries that into the tie. Again, work on that side that he was landing them knees against the cage.
Laziz looks a little bit more flat-footed. It's almost, it's like you alluded to, Carrick, those knees to the thighs from Eldar Eldarov to Munir Laziz may have taken a little bit of the pop off the step of Munir Laziz.
One of the things I'm looking for this round is Eldarov's conditioning. A coach at his level gives his heart and his soul and all of his body to his students. I wonder if he's been able to put in the time he needs to do a 5-round fight. I'm not certain we'll be able to tell at some point in this round.
You can just see, to your point, Phil, with Carrick as well, and the shorts right up on the leg of Aziz, you can just see the welt. So that work has paid off. Nice strong jab as well there.
Eldar feinting the takedown.
Starting to time that kick now as well as Munir Laziz, the sniper, trying to look for that kill shot. Eldarov is comfortable standing this distance, and this would have been where you felt Aziz has the big advantage. Comes in, flurry, flying knee, and Eldarov covered up. It didn't land clean, and it's now Munir Laziz who is clinching Eldarov up against the cage.
He may look to pop a few knees to the body here.
Both sharing underhooks. Goes for the trip.
Beautiful trip takedown from Eldar Eldarov.
And Laziz gets back to his feet. The tax on that was a couple of short right hands to the chin. Yet again, Eldarov goes straight back to the working knees while trying to drag Aziz to the canvas.
He has that arm trapped again, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and take Munir down on that side. Munir gets the arm out and throws a cheeky little back elbow.
That was dirty. Dirty in a good way.
Eldarov is a brilliant wrestler. He doesn't necessarily have to level change and shoot, which can get you kneed in the face. Instead, he grabs on like a bear and ruins people.
On high with the knee. And again, there's that little left hand down. That brings me back to what I said in the first round. Constantly working, constantly landing shots. Never really taking that moment to rest and burying into that left thigh yet again.
And ever threatening the takedown.
Switches from the double to the single, runs the pipe, turns the corner, but he's done well to defend it, looking to take the back.
And that's what I mean about Eldar. He wasn't necessarily having the greatest of success with that single. Transitions right away, just closes the distance and grabs Munir by the back and look for that trip drag takedown again.
The sniper's doing an excellent job of returning to standing. Where he's weak is breaking that body lock. If he can't break that body lock, this is going to go on and on and on.
Looking to turn, and as soon as he does, Eldarov is down on the single. Nice elbows from Munir Laziz.
But just drops levels and takes the ankle beautifully of Laziz.
Nice ankle pick to get it down, but again, to Kirik's point, it's back up to the knee, back up to the feet. Excellent work. Just looks to his corner for a little bit of advice. That's it, them sharp elbows. Again, always worth doing and make Eldarov think about it. That was successful. Work by Laziz. That'll give him some confidence.
Nice job from Eldar.
Now it's Munir Laziz who's the stalker, just standing in front of Eldarov. Goes to the front seat, but nobody at home. Eldarov read it.
Quick shout out to Protein Health Food, our health food sponsor.
Again in on that single, runs the pipe on it. Beautifully done by Eldar Eldarov.
Excellent. Again, that control again, Phil. Just grabbed the ankle as it looked like Laziz was going to get back up, but Laziz does well to get his back to the cage again. He's up on one knee and looking to stand once more. Got to be careful of his back here, though. Unfortunately for Munir Laziz, it's excellent defensive wrestling, but you don't get points for defensive wrestling.
In this case, what you get is brutal knees to your thighs.
And it's that constant work. He doesn't give Munir Laziz a moment's rest, and it lands a nice left hand. Every time Laziz tries to adjust and make something happen, Eldarov counters and lands a shot. And Laziz, there's confidence there for him, Kirik. He's spending the takedown. When he does get taken down, he gets himself back up.
He gets himself back up, but unless he can deal with that body lock of Eldar Eldarov, I don't believe he's going to win this fight. He's got to hip in, break the grip, and then spin out. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, painful night for him.
Do that, Phil. What is the corner of Munir Laziz saying to him right now? What advice would you be giving if you were in that corner?
I would be telling him to work behind the jab, employ lateral movement, no straight lines. Usually classic strikers, they usually have that back and forth high style. I would like to see him light on the feet, work behind the jab, and try and catch Eldar, either coming in for the takedown, load a knee, load an uppercut. Definitely don't instigate the clinch with Eldar Eldarov.
Yeah. That was a throw where Laziz landed awkwardly as well on that throw. Again, he was illustrated there on that replay. When he hits the mat, he's looking cat, he comes back to his feet instantly.
I'd like to see the sniper go after the legs and the body a little bit more. Eldarov's neck is so big, that is not an easy man to knock out.
Third round, let's see if Munir Laziz can make the adjustments. There will be confidence there in that he's got back up on numerous occasions when he was taken down, and no real significant damage apart from the knees to the thigh has really been done when he has been down. Trying to start letting his offense go, let them kicks go. Eldarov landing the inside leg kick.
What's been damaged to some extent is the sniper's cardio. Being wrestled like that, being thrown to the ground and forced to rise again and again is grueling.
Which one of these fighters is forever going to be written into the MMA history? The first ever champion at 165, a bit of a firefight breaking out. They were happy to sit down on their shots there. Beautiful inside leg kick. There's a lot of meat behind that one.
He threw his entire body into that leg kick. That wasn't a range-finding leg kick.
He's just behind the knee as well. All adding up again, once again on that left lead leg of Mounir Laziz.
It's almost as if Mounir is trying to counter Eldar. He's not employing any offense of his own. He's not giving Eldar something to think about.
I believe he's trying to set up something big. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it looks like a fighter trying to set up something huge.
But Eldar reverts back to his bread and butter, the clinch.
It's the head position as well, under the chin, pushing his forehead into the jawline of Laziz, and again, always peppering, landing shots, threatening for the takedown, throwing the overhand right above it. Just landing shots, constantly keeping Laziz on point. Good work again, though, by Mounir Laziz. Just framed off and gets out. Back in the center of the cage, and you can almost see, in comparison to his own fight, he has to really watch his kicks that he's throwing and his attacks, because as soon as he gets over aggressive, Eldarov will close the distance, perhaps get a body lock or takedown.
Eldar had his back a little bit too close to the fence. Not something you want to do with a striker of this fighter's caliber. It's getting pushed up a little too close to that fence.
You notice Mounir is employing a little bit more distance management. He's popping that jab, and almost as he's popping the jab, he's taking that half a step back. He's taking that half a yard back.
Still light on the feet, although the damage that has been done to the leg, he looks fine for the moment. Eldarov is almost taking a little back step here and not pushing the action as much as he was. Maybe taking a small breather, but catches the kick and looking for a wild right hand, but now in on the takedown as well.
There we see Laziz pop right back up, and such intelligent wrestling for MMA there by Eldar Eldarov. Triangles the legs, elevates the legs above the hips, making it so much harder for Mounir Laziz to get a base and get up again.
So he's trying to work elbows and he's trying to scoot his hips back to the cage. But he has a bear on top of him at the moment, who sits into mount.
That leg is just about to get shelved for a second time.
It's the wrist control on both sides as well by Eldarov, just controlling the limbs of Mounir Laziz and nullifying what he can do. As soon as he tries to step away, he's got to pull them legs out again. But Mounir Laziz, yet again, gets back to his feet. Credit to the young fighter. Really demonstrating, like, because Eldarov is elite wrestling. When you say elite, it's not said easily. This guy is an absolute elite wrestler.
Oh, for sure.
And Laziz is showing that he can compete in the sense that he can get back up. Wild right hand just off target by Eldarov on the separation, but yet again we're back to the center of the cage. Just under a minute to go in the third round.
Eldar's holding his hands a little bit lower. I'm not sure if that's fatigue, or I'm not sure if that's to bait Mounir Laziz to come in and then shoot on him.
Nice jab popped in the face of Mounir Laziz there by Eldarov. Laziz goes with the kick, landed a nice right hand and went with the right high kick. Maybe sensing a little bit of tiredness in Eldarov. Little shots on the underneath there as well by Mounir Laziz, but it's Eldarov who once again is in, hunting a takedown, looking to pick that ankle.
Beautiful takedown from Eldar Eldarov. Putting on a real wrestling clinic here, Noel.
10 seconds to go, and it must be as frustrating and complimentary as we are about Mounir Laziz getting back to his feet. Constantly getting taken down to get back up again must be very frustrating for him.
Very frustrating and extremely tiring. You're looking at somebody who, as we referred to earlier, has a body that's beginning to fill up to the brim with lactic acid.
I did notice at the end of that round, Mounir Laziz
trying to pour it on a little bit more. And Sack can be aggressive. As soon as he did, though, it's illustrated here by Eldarov. Well, when you get too close, he will grab you and drag you into that deep water yet again. About to enter the championship rounds here for the vacant super lightweight Brave world title. You have to think that Eldarov is 3 rounds to the good here. You mentioned it, Kieran Kostanama. What, as a head coach, has he invested? Has he put the training in 4 to 5 rounds? We're entering the championship round, so we're going to find out.
He is a great coach. This is somebody who sacrifices himself for his students.
You might see Manuel Aziz turn the dial to 11 here and really push the action. He's got to be careful to watch that distance management you said, Phil, because if he gets too close, he's going to get tied up and dragged down.
I'd like to see him work off that jab a little bit more. Put the jab in Eldar's face, because then that hides what's coming next. So start off with the jab, incorporate that. One of the most underutilized weapons in an MMA fighter's toolbox is the jab.
Eldarov just circling to his left, but that's circling into that right head kick of Aziz Munir. He's got to be careful.
Eldarov needs distance. Eldarov cannot let his butt get just a few inches from this fence.
4th round starts here with Munir Aziz putting the pressure on Eldarov.
Eldarov needs to be very careful circling out this way to his left-hand side, because that is right in to the head kick from Munir Aziz. And I think that's almost what Aziz was trying to do, cut off the angle.
Make him circle into that power shot. Eldarov just having a look to see, but letting him know as yet. Maybe he's just charging the batteries up to get ready to attack.
He's waiting for that second wind to come along. It'll probably happen in the next 2 minutes or so.
A couple of feints now at that takedown, and tries to throw the heavy inside leg kick yet again on that lead leg of Munir Aziz. The sniper went with it, looking for the flying knee.
Take the takedown, change levels and come up with the knee, but Eldar was wise to it.
You can definitely see that Munir feels that Eldarov is maybe tiring, so he's trying to walk him down.
Brilliant job by the sniper of not punching too much. He's really punching a beautiful amount.
Not a lot of output so far in this 4th round. Nice left hand there, just grazed.
Nice overhand from Eldar coming in.
He's starting to engage now that we're almost at the halfway point of the 4th round. It's Aziz who's stalking and he's cutting off the cage, and Eldarov, again, as we've said, Phil, needs to be careful circling to his left.
And he's circling into the power hand, and more dangerously, he's circling into the power head kick.
And for the 3rd time in the round, he's just seen Eldarov sort of reach and threaten that takedown, just to see the reaction.
That's a beautiful jab.
Each time he throws the jab, you can see Eldarov trying to counter with a check hook. Aziz turns the heat up here. He could really put it on.
Eldarov's jaw is getting loose. That's a bad sign for a fighter.
Well, granted that this is for the 165-pound super lightweight title, but even then, Eldar is still absolutely huge. So he's going to have to work really hard. His body's going to have to work super hard to supply blood and oxygen to those muscles.
In on that single and was chasing it. Good work again, though, by Munir Aziz to keep it in the standing realm. He's looking to dig that underhook and turn Eldarov, but Eldarov leans his mass into him.
Eldarov's core strength is off the charts.
Aziz separates, and good work was maybe looking to try and counter off that break, but opportunity wasn't there.
That's bound to give Munir Aziz confidence. It's also bound to give his corner confidence, knowing that they can now contend with the takedown of Eldar Eldarov.
Inside leg kick yet again by Eldarov. Fake the leg kick and almost done a shimmy to land that right hand.
Oh, he got caught coming in there with the check hook of Munir Laziz.
He's looking for the uppercut. If that landed, we would have had to change the name of this card from Pride and Honor to Brave 23 Uppercut.
He switches to the double, may look to grab the ankle.
And them elbows again, they all add up as well. Good work, just trying to maybe stuff the head down of Eldarov. Eldarov really hunting for that takedown. They feel the takedown may steal the round, but Laziz again on the break. Eldarov almost looked tired, but now they have a fight. Both fighters throwing bones at each other, and a beautiful end to the fourth round. The both fighters, it looked like they were going to re-engage after the bell, but it was more of a posture of strength by both individuals. But perhaps that's the first round, and perhaps the momentum has taken a slight swing in favor of the Tunisian.
Again, we saw Eldar Eldarov go back to his corner and sit down on the ground. Now, I don't know if that was just because he's such a chill guy or because he is gassed.
Here we see, interesting enough there, one of the cornermen for Eldar Eldarov just came over and asked Kieran, is this the fifth round? So, what your point was, Phil, about Eldarov going back to the corner, I don't know if it's just maybe the corner man lost count of what round we're in, or is that concern due to the gas tank of Eldarov?
What we're seeing here in the replays, Munir Laziz's ability to defend the takedown now. And I think that's a mark of perhaps Eldar Eldarov is feeling this fight. Now that we're into the championship rounds, now that we're into the deep waters of the fight.
Both fighters just dug in their heels and were throwing bombs at each other to end that fourth round. Munir Laziz standing, waiting. Yeah, both fighters squaring off and making eye contact. The referee is actually allowing them to walk them freely towards each other. We won't have to wait much longer. The fifth and final round to crown the Brave Combat Federation Super Lightweight Champion. Who wants it? Put your gloves in, the fifth round's underway.
Munir Laziz is bound to know that, yes, his last round, he won the last round in my opinion. He worked very well. But I believe he lost rounds 1, 2, and 3. So potentially, even if he wins these 2 rounds, he may be on the end of a decision that he doesn't want. So I expect him to up the volume, to up the pace in this third and final round, because I believe he needs a finish if he wants to become the champion.
That's his fifth jab by Munir Laziz. And Eldarov was throwing hands there to trade, but it looked like he wanted to take down more. He's closed that and got the distance in. He did. Shots he was throwing were winging shots. Didn't want to get into a firefight with the sniper.
The sniper's corner telling him to throw more of those elbows to the head.
Eldarov in on the single, and Laziz again landing them elbows from that position. Switches to the opposite side, and Munir just ripping the head up of Eldarov.
Using that face bar very well.
In on the single, but while previously he was doing a lot of work while in on takedowns, that work has now stopped, where he's just working for the takedown, not adding the knees, not adding the short shots. Laziz could get out of here and separate. He does.
Eldar looked a little bit laboured getting up there off his knee.
Still throwing big shots back though is Eldar Eldarov. Both exchange jabs, the stiffer jab coming from Laziz. Looks right hand. Again by Munir, looks for the kick. Nobody home, just out of range. Leaning back, Eldarov. It's intriguing to think we went 3 rounds, but a 3-round fight. They're scoring a 30-27 to Eldarov. We're now in the fifth and final round, and it looks like it's Munir Laziz putting the pressure and could be running out of time in rounds. Again, the output has stopped, and peppering the jab, looking for that right hand, but Good work by Eldarov with the trip. Beautiful by Eldar Eldarov.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Huge
work.
move. Huge moment in this fight.
And that just shows no matter how tired you are or how gassed, when you're that elite of a grappler and wrestler, you can go back to that no matter how tired you are and pull that off.
If your name is Eldar Eldarov.
Strong elbows from the bottom by Laziz. He's not giving up this yet.
Munir puts the foot on the hip as if to push Eldar away. He needs to get back to his feet if he wants to become the first ever super lightweight champion.
Just trying to hold Eldarov down, maybe want the referee to give some assistance to stand up, but Eldarov is doing enough work to keep the referee satisfied. Stuffing the head, his forehead just under the chin of Aziz, and pops up with a nice left hand. Aziz needs to do what he was doing in the previous rounds. He needs to get himself up against that cage wall and get back up. Here in the open canvas, it's a lot harder to get out from underneath this bear.
He's putting a foot in the hip, but it looks like he's trying to set up a back take rather than stand.
Excellent elbows from the bottom. He's now scooched his way right in front of us here in the broadcast.
Just over a minute left. What can Munir Laziz do?
Big elbow from Eldarov. He just postures up, lands the elbow, resets, postures up, lands the elbow, steps across into half guard. Big position here for Eldar Eldarov. I'm sure he can almost feel the Brave title going around his waist at this time. He knows he's moments away from creating history. Aziz does well to get it back to full guard. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the fifth and final round, and Eldarov, although he may be tired, he's thrown everything he can, continuing to work. The momentum may have swung in round 4, but it's swung right back. And the Russian can almost touch the belt at this stage.
Eldar's doing everything he needs to do right now in this fight. That's a little bit too little too late for Munir Laziz.
Eldar Eldarov ends up on top of Munir Laziz. Munir, incredible performance to get up as often as he did, to have the back and forth fight. He showed he belongs in a world title fight.
Oh, definitely.
We said, I feel like at the start saying, is this a striker versus a grappler? Both of the fighters showed they're mixed martial artists. Both of the fighters showed that they can live in each other's world.
You're watching two of the premier athletes in combat sports right there, Noel O'Keefe. An absolutely wonderful fight. Eldar Eldarov, for, as we've said, a coach. He's come in and showed that he's not just a coach, he's potentially a new world champion.
Eldarov just walking around the cage. Neither fighter really throwing their hands up as of yet. Let's take a look back at the action here. Aziz was really trying to put the pressure on him, started it around, really trying to take the fight to Eldarov. I feel this is a turning point in the fifth and final round.
Yeah, that was exactly when he hit the trip. It was not only the significance of the trip, but it was where he landed, in the center of the Brave arena, not giving Munir Laziz that purchase to scoot back, get himself to the cage and work back up again. And as you said, he done enough to keep himself honest. He would land his shots, back down the clinch, posture, land shots, doing everything he could.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for both of these warriors. What an incredible co-main event! After 5 rounds, we go to the scorecards. 2 judges scored the bout 50-45, and 1 judge scored the bout 49-46 for your winner by unanimous decision and new Brave Combat Federation Super Lightweight Champion of the World.